Last night wasn't just about tennis. When Hailey Baptiste was forced to retire due to injury, the stadium went quiet. But Eala did something that spoke louder than any cheer.
Shocking, the secret backstage drama that made Hailey Baptiste cry after Eala loss, and what happened next will leave you speechless. Welcome back to Court Vision Media, your ultimate destination for the real stories behind the scorelines. Before we get into today's powerful story, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you never miss the emotional, dramatic moments that shape the tennis world. Today's story goes far beyond a retirement result. It is about heartbreak, empathy, resilience, and a locker room moment so powerful it quietly rippled across the tennis world. The stage was the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships, held at the iconic Aviation Club Tennis Center. A WTA 1000 event where ranking points shape careers, where early season momentum can define an entire year, and where pressure sits heavy on every player who walks through those gates. On one side stood Hailey Baptiste, world number 39, an American powerhouse known for her explosive serve and crushing baseline game. Baptiste is not just physical strength, she is relentless competitive fire. She arrived in Dubai determined to climb higher in the rankings and make a statement. On the other side was Eala, the 20-year-old left-handed sensation carrying the hopes of the Philippines. Eala had already endured close losses earlier in the season and came to Dubai hungry for a breakthrough. Her court awareness, tactical intelligence, and fearless shot selection were beginning to turn heads across the tour. The match itself was electric. The Filipino crowd transformed the stadium atmosphere into something closer to a Grand Slam night session. Baptiste struck first, using her power to dictate rallies. But Eala responded with composure, breaking serve and taking control with precise angles and calm execution. The first set ended 6-4 in Eala's favor after a blistering forehand winner that brought the crowd to its feet. The second set began with a grueling game that stretched to 7 deuces. Both players pushed to the limit. But then something shifted. Baptiste began clutching her side. The trainer was called. The stadium fell silent. An abdominal injury had flared, making it nearly impossible for her to serve. After attempting to continue, Baptiste made the painful decision to retire. Officially, the score read 6-4, 1-0 to Eala.
Tennis. When Hailey Baptiste was forced to retire due to injury, the stadium went quiet.
Eala approached the net with concern,
Eala
not
did something that spoke louder than any cheer.
She even walked toward Baptiste's box to offer sympathy. During her interview, she spoke about the difficulty of staying physically healthy on tour and wished her opponent a speedy recovery. To most watching, that was the end of the story. But the real moment came behind closed doors. Inside the locker room at the Aviation Club, Baptiste was alone, processing not only physical pain but the emotional devastation of an injury that threatens momentum. Questions flooded her mind. How long will recovery take? What tournaments will be missed? What will happen to ranking points? Then the locker room door opened. Eala walked in. In professional tennis, unwritten rules suggest giving space after a retirement win. But Eala chose differently. She sat beside Baptiste and handed her a handwritten note. Not a quick text. Not a social media message. A handwritten note. She then offered access to her own physiotherapist to help assess the injury before Baptiste traveled home. And then she shared something deeply personal, her own struggles with burnout, physical strain, and the loneliness of the tour. She spoke not as a rival, but as a fellow young athlete navigating the same unforgiving circuit. That is when the tears came. Baptiste later confided that Eala's words broke through her walls. In a sport built on individual battles, one competitor chose connection over protocol. It was not for cameras. It was not for headlines. It was human. What makes this story even more remarkable is what followed. Eala carried that emotional intensity onto the court in the second round against Jasmine Paolini, world number 8. Against expectations, she delivered the performance of her career, defeating the Italian in stunning fashion and sending shockwaves back to Manila. Then came Romanian veteran Sorana Cîrstea. Experience favored Cîrstea, but Eala's resilience prevailed. She battled to a 7-5, 6-4 victory, becoming the first Filipina ever to reach the quarterfinals in Dubai. Her ranking surged to a career high inside the top 38. History was being rewritten in real time. Now the spotlight shifts to a blockbuster quarterfinal against world number 4 Coco Gauff, a Grand Slam champion and one of the sport's brightest young stars. Two former friends, now rivals, meeting on one of the biggest stages in women's tennis. Gauff brings experience, power, and mental toughness. Eala brings momentum, fearless left-handed patterns, and a roaring Filipino crowd behind her. It is youth versus youth, ambition versus ambition, and it promises to be unforgettable. Meanwhile, early reports suggest Baptiste's injury is not long-term, offering relief to fans who know how vital her presence is on tour. When she returns, she will carry more than just lessons from a retirement loss. She will carry the memory of a moment when an opponent shows compassion. The 2026 Dubai Championships have delivered drama, history, and humanity in equal measure. A first-round battle cut short by injury. A private locker room gesture that moved a top 50 player to tears. A rising Filipina star breaking barriers with every swing. Eala is not just winning matches. She is redefining what it means to compete with heart. Now it is your turn. What do you think about that locker room moment between Eala and Hailey Baptiste? Does it change how you see Eala as a competitor? And can she pull off the upset against Coco Gauff? Drop your thoughts, predictions, and support in the comments section below. We read every single one. If this story moved you, make sure you smash that like button to help more fans discover moments like this. And do not forget to subscribe to Court Vision Media and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the real stories behind the scores. This is Court Vision Media, and we will see you at the next match point.
Last night wasn't just about tennis. When Hailey Baptiste was forced to retire due to injury, the stadium went quiet. But Eala did something that spoke louder than any cheer. She hugged